Hi, Martin. Thanks for joining me today. And thanks for giving me your time as well to have a short chat about the market and also your experience as a job seeker in the market as well. So thank you
No
for
problem.
that. So I suppose we'll start with what you do. So, can you give me a quick overview of what you do as a data scientist?
Uh, yeah, I don't think there's a quick overview possible. But
That's a fair answer.
yeah, as a data scientist, I'm generally the one responsible for um, all sorts of analytical activities relating to mostly project based where I'm coming from. So I'm not like kind of embedded in a business with lots of domain knowledge. I'm more of a kind of a project based data scientist. So going from different parts of the business and helping them kind of realize value from their data, their latent value, we call it kind of. And that involves all sorts of stuff like data exploration. So taking all sorts of, anything from Excel sheets to images to sound and trying to kind of wrangle that into something that's kind of more structured, so something like numbers, ones and zeros and all this kind of stuff, and then exploring that, trying to visualize, seize their patterns there before going down into any sort of modeling or anything. At this point it's more like exploratory kind of stuff. So is there kind of a hypothesis that we can put forward here to the business or to our clients, and to say, by the way, we think you have this problem that you're telling us about, and we think in the data we see maybe some way we can help with that. Um, there's a lot of there's a lot at this point in kind of the 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 project, and I guess as part of the role, there's a lot of dealing with uncertainty in terms of where the project could go to, and the way we try and deal with that and make that, I suppose, a bit more kind of reduce the risk there, is we really try and get to know what the business want, what their key objectives are, and really talk to them about that and make sure that we understand the business context. Because, as I was saying, we're in a kind of central role a lot of the time, data scientists, where we're not embedded really in the business. We're kind of moving from different domains. And when you do that, you kind of come into every project with a little bit of knowledge about the business area or the domain, but you generally need to kind of rely on subject matter experts for that. So there's a lot of dealing with subject matter experts and trying to upskill and kind of get more knowledge about the domain, because later on, what you do a lot of is kind of data processing, which is a lot of the kind of the calories you expend as a data scientist is in data processing. And to do that the best, make the best use of the data you have, it's better to have a bit of domain knowledge, and you need to kind of work with subject matter experts to get that domain knowledge. um, that's a lot of the upfront stuff. Then the middle, the boring stuff, which is modeling and kind of thinking about your hypothesis. And then when that's kind of a little bit like makes sense to the subject matter experts or the business stakeholders, okay, yeah, we agree with that. That kind of goes with our key objectives, and it looks like you have a pattern there that you want to go after and a hypothesis. So let's all go down that route. Then you kind of there's a lot of hands-on data processing, coding basically. Bit unstructured at this point. You don't really make a lot of scalable things in this part of the process. But then you work in we work in an agile kind of way, where you get quick feedback from the subject matter experts and the business stakeholders, kind of every 2 weeks. And then
Okay.
at the end of that, you have something which is then you're moving into more like DevOps, ML ops kind of delivery part of it. So then you put on your engineering hat, and you kind of have to, well, okay, honestly, you have your engineering hat on all the time. But at this point in the project, from the outside looking in, the engineering stuff starts, where put stuff into kind of production, or deliver it, make it useful, because a model on a Jupyter notebook really isn't useful. So something that you can share with stakeholders, or even kind of get into production quickly. You need engineering kind of involved there. So
Yeah. Yeah.
um, yeah,
That's
there's
pretty interesting.